Under the umbrella of political correctness, many things have happened in the West as well, and I think it's a very dangerous and thin line that we walk, and I think we have to stand up for individual freedom, also entrepreneurial freedom. If we continue the one-size-fits-all politics, which is nothing else but socialism, but it's not for the good, then we lose out. So we have to make sure that individualistic, competitive systems are possible and are allowed. We have to stand up and say, here are the limits. You must not do that. Because if we violate the free expression of speech, I think we lose our democracy.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. There is massive multi-trillion-dollar spending happening in the United States, and a lot of other countries, not just the U.S., talk about this kind of Green New Deal framework. And here to talk to us about where this is heading and kind of how this whole global system is working is Barbara Kolm. Now, she's the founding director of the Austrian Economics Center at the Independent Institute. And Barbara, it's a real pleasure having you on Crossroads.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So why don't we start by talking about this large spending? Because the Biden administration right now is, they're pushing through this infrastructure bills tied in with kind of the Green New Deal framework. There's concern it's going to cause inflation. I know you're the head of a central bank, and so you have a lot of knowledge about this stuff. But he's arguing it's not going to cause inflation. A lot of economists are saying it will. What's your take on this?
Well, first of all, this will, of course, cause inflation, but let's go back to those trillions of dollars and also euros that have been spent. The packages, the so-called pandemic rescue packages that we have done in Europe, but also in the US, are tremendous, and somebody will have to pay them back, and it's not your generation, but it might be the generation of your kids and your grandchildren who will still have to pay that back. This is a danger. It's not sound, solid economy that we do, or economics actually that we do.
Of course, a lot of these were passed under the guise, I think, of fighting the virus and helping places bounce back from the virus. But when you look into the spending, it's things like Asian carp study programs and gender study programs in like Pakistan, and building literal camel statues in other countries. Things that have nothing to do with the virus. And a lot of Americans are questioning why are we spending this money, first off, and also what's going to be the impact of spending this money.
Well, the impact is definitely raising the debt levels to an enormous amount. And then the point is, you always have to ask, what is the money good for that you invest? Who benefits from it? And the question, if we look at, and here Keynes was right, he said, okay, you may stimulate, and the government may put money on the table and may use it, but the government has to withdraw again very soon. And we have never seen governments and states withdraw once they have their hands in. Yes. So that's a big point. And here he was, and here everybody misunderstood Keynes, or probably we should look at what enterprises and free enterprises can do to build infrastructure, to invest in the country, and allow those people, those entrepreneurs, to invest in places and be creative about it.
Now, I know that the Federal Reserve, they can adjust interest rates. Basically, they keep them high. Typically, you're going to have a bust. They lower them, you're going to have a boom. Typically, but they do this also to manage things like this, where they are risking inflation and they can adjust the interest rates, and they believe they can offset it. Do you believe the Federal Reserve is capable of offsetting it at this time? Because I know that they've kind of reduced interest rates to about zero under Biden. They kept them pretty high under Trump. They reduced them to zero under Biden. So is there any room now for that to work?
Well, this is a fundamental question. Do we have the right models to calculate those things? And I think also from an Austrian economics perspective, the models that are used right now are not valid any longer. And the short answer is no, I don't think this will solve the problems. As a matter of fact, it will it will rise the level of problems.
How are the models not accurate anymore? I'm curious in your analysis.
Well, because the issue is we have started to mix monetary policy and fiscal policy. It's all now in one basket, and the central banks are not as independent, or on paper they still are independent, of course, but all these discussions are being led by politicians, and things are put into one basket and not solving what is the task of the Fed or the ECB. The mandate is being independent, making sure that the price stability is safe and is working, and monetary issues are on the safe side, and the banks and the finance system are safe. And that's actually their basic task. The Fed, in addition, also has a mandate to make sure that the unemployment levels are kept at a certain level. And where are we right now? Unemployment is skyrocketing, at least in Europe. Inflation is rising. Only, I think, many banks have done the homework in the past 15, 20 years, so we're good on that side. But the rest is still questionable.
Well, folks, 2 months on now, and we are still totally demonetized by YouTube. But given the situation where we have to censor ourselves if we want to really stay on this platform and make it work, we've decided on something else, which is this. We've launched a new platform called Epoch TV, epochtv.com. And through this, we're able to publish uncensored content. News that can criticize anything we'd like, news that can talk about anything we'd like, news that can give you real information from any part of the world about any topic without having to worry whether individuals will censor it. And in this current environment where information is being controlled, where narratives are being controlled, and where anyone who steps outside the boundaries of what is the accepted narrative by the fact checkers, quote unquote, by different big tech organizations, by media organizations, and so on. This is something that we believe is needed for the modern political environment, where people should be able to call things out. People should be able to question things. This is the basis of the Fourth Estate in America. The belief, again, that media should be able to hold government power in check, and that media should be able to inform the public about the issues they should be informed about, because that is the basis of our election system. An informed public making informed decisions. If you control this system of information, you control the political system. And folks, being a media organization, we can't stand for that. And so again, we have created an uncensored platform, Epoch TV. And anyone who wants to support Crossroads or support our broader mission of bringing real news, uncensored news, it's not afraid to stand up for what matters, please check out our website, epochtv.com, epochtv.com. Check out the link below. And folks, please support us there.